Hey Power Up hosts, here's the next week.
Thank you, and welcome to another edition of Spin It to Win It! I'm your host, Gary, the Game Show Guru, and I'm so thankful that you guys are here in our live studio audience. I tell you what, I was super excited to see you guys come in today. If this is your first time, or maybe a first time in a long time, I just want to let you know how our game show actually works. See, every week, we have been playing different games, and some of the games I compete and you help me, and then some of the games you compete. Now, if we win all these games, we will hopefully get a chance. Some lucky person, contestant in the studio audience, will get an opportunity to spin that wheel. And when you spin that wheel, that contestant not only wins a prize, but everybody wins a prize. So you get a prize, and you get a prize, and you get a prize. And it's going to be a fantastic time. So, you know what I was just thinking about though? Last week was our Kid Point Christmas pajama and pancake party. It was fantastic, and I was super excited about that. But not only was I there, looking on and seeing all you guys having so much fun, but you know what? Somebody else was there too, and I want to introduce you to a special friend of mine. At this point, Power Up hosts, point to one of the volunteers in the audience and call them out by name, because you're going to have dialogue. You need to talk to them before service starts about the dialogue you'll have. Not only was I there, but Eric was there too! Eric, did you have a fantastic time at the Kid Point Christmas?
Yeah, Gary the Game Guy, I had a fantastic time at the Kid Point Christmas.
Wasn't it awesome? It was so much fun. Man, it was great. And you know what that means, Eric? That that means we're 1 week closer to Christmas! Yeah, it's awesome! You know what, Eric? I've been thinking, since we're getting close to the holidays, maybe I should take some time off. And you know what? I was thinking that maybe you could run the show.
Really? That'd be great!
You know what? I promise you, make sure you exaggerate that you cross your fingers. I promise you that you can run the show from all day to day. What do you think about that?
That's fantastic! I'm gonna go call my mom and let her know right now!
Ah, crossies! I was just kidding. That wasn't true. Doesn't count. I had my fingers crossed.
I don't think you know what making a promise really means.
Of course I know what a promise really means. But does our live studio audience know what it means to make a promise? How about you? Who knows what it means to make a promise? Allow the kids to answer. Yeah, keeping your word. Well, that's great. I'm glad. See, Eric, I told you I knew what a promise was. It's all those things and more. But that brings us to our first game. And that game would be none other than Guess Who? See up here on this board, there are several different faces and different figures. On that board, I am going to allow some lucky contestant in our studio audience to pick a card. When they pick that card, they will show it to the rest of the studio audience. And on that card, there is one of these faces. I will ask you a series of yes or no questions. As I ask, they will then hopefully let those characters disappear, leaving one character left, which I will then confirm to be our guest of the week. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay. How about you? Come on up here. You are sitting so quietly. By the way, Power Up hosts, there's 4 cards. They are all 4 of the same characters, so don't show them to anybody, but that enables you to at least make sure that you are going to be guessing the right person and not have to try to fudge. All right. Yes. Okay. Is that your card? Awesome. Why don't you show it to everybody? Great! Alright, why don't you stay up here, and I want you to stand right here, or you can have them on stage. Stand right here and show this card to everybody. Alright everybody, I'm going to try to use my detective skills to see if we can get past this first game. Let's see. Is your person a girl? No. Okay then, let's take off those girls. There we go. Let's see here. Does your person have white hair? Yes. Ooh, okay. Take everyone else off, so we have 2 people left. Which one? Does your person have a full head of hair? Yes. That means it must be Zechariah.
Hey guys, my name is Zechariah, and I got to tell you about a time I didn't believe a promise that was made to me by someone very important. I don't know if it was the Cheerios I ate for breakfast or the sardines I had for lunch, but when an angel from God appeared to me promising that my wife was going to have a baby, I could not believe my ears. It was just so unbelievable. As you can see, I'm old. I mean, check out these wrinkles. And let me tell you, my sweet wife Elizabeth, she's no spring chicken either. With this promise, the angel also told me to name our baby John. He was going to be very special because God would use John to prepare the way for Jesus, the promised Savior. Right away, I said, "No way, Jose. Do you know how many years I've been alive? Are you sure you know who you're talking to? I'm way too old to have a baby." Well, as soon as I got those words out of my mouth, it was as if my lips were sealed. It was a long 9 months of no talking for me. As you can imagine, Elizabeth loved that I couldn't argue with her over who should do the dishes. When it was time, God's promise came true, and my son John was born. At the moment of his birth, I could talk again. And just like that, my voice was back and I shouted, "Thank you, God, I can believe your promises."
Wow! You know what? That is incredible that we can believe God's promises. I am sure glad that he was able to not only speak again, but also to hear God's promises, and he got a new son named John. How fantastic is that? You know what? That brings us to this next segment of our game show. It's called Our Need to Know. And that is this: I can believe God's promises. How about anyone in our live studio audience, can you tell me what has a promise that God has made that we can find in the Bible? Anyone remember any of God's promises that he made in the Bible? They're pretty difficult. At this point, Power Posts, you can kind of egg them on with some of the other, some clues. This might be a little difficult for them, since, especially for our kindergartners and first graders. But you can say stuff like, you know what? What did he promise to Noah after the flood? And it came in a beautiful rainbow. He promised with that rainbow to never flood the whole earth again. That's crazy. You know what? He also promised to never leave us when he promised the Israelites that he will never leave them or forsake them, which means forget them. He'll never turn his back on them. That's a big promise too. You know that he made the same promise to us? That he's never going to forget about us. He knows each and every one of your names. And he knows everything about you. That's why in this season, he sent his son Jesus. You know another promise he made, and it's found in an Old Testament book called Jeremiah. And it says, you know what? He has plans to prosper. Who knows what it means to prosper? Yeah, that means to live in a good health, live to be joy-filled, right? And so he's promised to give us a life that's worth living, not to harm us, but to give us hope and a future. That's what God has promised us. You know what is cool? God never breaks his promise. He is with us through everything. Well, you know what? That brings us to our next segment, which is our memory verse. Why don't we all stand up together and say this? And all these things we will do even more than win. We owe it all to Christ. who has loved us. Romans 8:37. See, because Christ has loved us, we can do even more than win in our life. That doesn't always mean that things go our way, but it does mean that we can trust God no matter what. Well, that brings us to our next game. I love a good promise, and that is pinky promises. Who has ever done a pinky promise, right? Well, I will need 4 contestants for this game. Come on up here. 2 girls, 2 boys. You. Great. Awesome. For this game, Power Up hosts, you'll have candy canes for each of them to stick in their mouth because they're going to use the hook to grab a gift, and then they'll pinky promise each other. Basically, their pinkies are crossed with the candy cane in their mouth. They're holding a gift bag, and they have to carry it from one line to another. So you can't go across there like that. So here is the video.
Pinky Promise Present Picker. During the Christmas season, the average person gives 12.5 presents each year. Today you must deliver 2 of those presents. 2 teams of 2 contestants must pinky promise with their partner. Holding a candy cane in their mouth, they will hook the presents, then carry them across the line. The first team to carry both presents across the line is the winner.
And then they perform it. Woo! Yeah, awesome job! Well, hey, now you get a chance. This team, tell one team to go sit back down. This team gets a chance to spin that wheel!
Spin that wheel!
Alright, and this week, they will be spinning the wheel for a lollipop. Lollipop. So we'll hand out dum-dums to them on their way out. That concludes this week. We will talk to you guys later. Be sure when you're going through the Need to Know memory verse that you are actually asking kids how they can apply it to their lives, as well as make sure with the older kiddos, the 4th and 5th graders, and really dive in, really start to try to invest, spend some time just saying, hey, what does this really mean? Because I know that it's a big value for them, whereas some of the kindergartners and 1st graders don't really know what a promise is. Our 4th and 5th graders are discovering not only how to make promises, but also how to break them. And sometimes they are even in situations where people have broken promises to them, such as parents or friends. So make sure we really get on that of, hey, God never breaks his promises. These are some of the promises. He sets you up to succeed, not to fail. Even when things go rough, he still loves you, yada, yada, yada. All right? Thanks, guys, for all you do.